And I was the professor of the environmental science, so that we started this project. So that I'm going to share this video, bird's eye view image. So there are the field, nothing except this power generators. That is a 2.45 megawatt generator. You can see that how big it is from looking from the far out. Then it looks like the lake. You see that it looks blue lake, but actually it is solar panels. And our previous speakers talked about the electromagnetic waves, and the drone did not work because of the shield of the electromagnetic waves. So that it is true that there are the certain amount of the electromagnetic waves emitted from the solar panel. But usually, nobody get close to this solar panel. There is nobody live, no residence nearby. But around throughout Japan, if you have another opportunity, I would like to share this issue of the electromagnetic waves, and that is a very critical issue shared throughout Japan. And now that our university campus is located in Ichikawa, this is not a good picture. This is a #1 building, and on the rooftop of this building, that's a 12 kilowatt solar panel was installed, and they generated all the power to be used in our campus. In 2014, this facility kicked off, and 12 months of the 2014, the number was out in the 2014, and we found out that in our back of the envelope calculation, I would say that based on the initial statistics, that the 77% of the power generation was actually supplied by the power generated on the rooftops. So that motivated us to reduce our power consumption, so that we are setting that target. We should be the 100% self-sustained. And METI, Ministry of the Economy, Industry, and the Trade, we obtained the 10 million yen of the grant. So we granted subsidy so that we tried to explore the possibility how to reduce cost and save energy. And the city Mr. Yamaguchi, who is a representative of the sustainable energy, so that we asked this business also that we asked for the volunteer of the students, and we ran the survey. And what we surveyed, for instance, after March, all the buildings are built prior to the March 11th, so that there is no LED. Therefore, we calculated the energy saving effect if all of the bulbs are replaced by LED. So the students count the number of the bulbs and how many lightnings are installed on the hallways, so that the students are engaging in counting the numbers of the light bulbs. And also that we are using the infrared rays temperature, so that in the number 5 buildings, it is air conditioned, but doors are kept open, you see, that makes the internal temperature is 29 degrees centigrade. And if the windows are being kept open, and that deteriorates the effectiveness of the air conditioning. So that this is a practical study demonstrated that some of the windows and doors are making that negative impact and reducing the effectiveness of the air conditioning, so that they counted a number of the rooms where the lights are being kept on, or the windows are being opened. And our college is the liberal art college, and there is no science department, so that we do not have the laboratories, and also that we only have the language classes, and our college is not big. It is like the middle-sized university, and prerequisite of this subsidy granted from the METI is go to the Mie University. But Mie University spend millions of dollars to introduce the cogeneration facilities, and so that they built the power generators using the cogenerators. They refurbished the building, and also that they introduced energy management computer system, that is the integrated system, and also that system identified that who is the last person to leave the room, and after this person that the lights are being on. And if you are contribute to the save energy, then you can accumulate eco point. That kind of the system was introduced in Mie University, and the results is that they reduce only the 20% of the energy consumption. And Mie University have the university hospital, they have the science department, so that there are the facilities and buildings that are the mega energy consumption building. And most of the students of the Mie University are not interested in, and they are not aware of this project. That's so sad. Then that motivated us, because we do not have science department, and we are the small college, so that our objective is how to get the students involved and engaged in, so that our initiative is to introduce this the project picked up on the college newspaper, and we ran the questionnaire survey, and most of the freshmen knows the word save energy. However, we asked, they are motivated to reduce energy, and then most of the students say no. And if there is the reward, are you engaging in the reducing energy? And that most of the respondents says we are not sure, and that there is inconclusive in how to motivate students to reduce energy. And also cool sharing or warm sharing possibility. And we asked them how do they spend their time during that lunchtime and after at the class. And also that their ideas to save energy is LED or sensor light equipment. And also we asked which building is the most energy consumed building, and the answer is building number 1 or main building or library or number 3 or number 4 building. But in reality, the most consumed energy building is at main building, where all the professors teachers are there, and followed by the library, and all buildings such as the number 3 building and gymnasiums. So it's a lot of the discoveries, and we found out there is a gap between our perceptions and the reality. And so the we set out the focus group that introducing the marketing theory, so that we asked the students to bring that idea to save energy. And also that we initiated the discussion, and we organized the discussion twice. And we asked the general public, the marketing team, to introduce how to motivate students to renew energy and raise awareness. And that proposal is to introducing the Save Energy Week to raise awareness. And the second proposal is to use the thermography and get the students to experience it. And this thermography is emit light, and this device can measure the temperature. And if you look at this device, which part is hot, which part is cool, and also that they can take the picture, that they have the camera function. And if you equip it in the iPhone or smartphone, and a similar image is available, so that we call it thermography experience, so that we put forth these initiatives. So what we did, why 100% natural energy or eco campus? So what's the rationale? To convince the university board members, and we need the most convincing claims, and the one is the climate change, global warming. It is obvious that the global temperature is on the rise. We would see that very extreme climate, such as the fire, the mountain fires, and the intensified hurricane. And against these disasters or intensified climates, everybody agreed upon to adapt to the Paris Convention. So, and the objective is to keep the increment of the global average temperature less than 2 degrees centigrade. If possible, it is 1.5 degrees centigrade, so that by the 2050, that we tried to make the zero emissions of the CO2 attributable to the human activities. And so that the Japanese government's commitment is that announced in the 2015 summer, and our commitment is that the 17% of the save energy, and this is the composition or breakdown of the energy generations. And the business community is very reluctant, and they're claiming that there is no room for save energy. That happened since Kyoto Protocol. The business community says that that is disciplinary the independent initiatives. And what other activities are coming is that Net Zero Energy Bill ZEV, House ZEH, also accelerates the renewable energy source, and the government introduced the FIT. And we look at these initiatives, is that thorough energy saving efforts, increase the renewable energies, and reopen the nuclear power. The issue is that the government tries to increase the coal. And then we will look at the materiality of these targets. It is very controversial contents of this commitment, so that our university's focus or highlight is to saving energy, so that the February in 2016 they published a report, and in this report we used the data if you look at only the power, the orange bar shows the consumption in Noda campus. So this is a potential of the save energy, and also maybe we introduce that the solar power in the number 2 building. Also, we are thinking to introduce the heat water introduction. And what the students can contribute to this initiative is that the whole college action, that is the save energy software and humanware actions driven by not only the students but also the faculty. So this is the sustainable initiatives. And so that this is the numbers appeared on the final report proposed in the last February. But since then, we are thinking about what's the concrete actions that we should take. Anyway, that's the first week of the July. We hold this operation sprinkled water, so that we measure the temperature of the paved road, that is a 50 degrees centigrade, and if we sprinkle the water and measure the temperature, it brought down the temperature by 10 degrees centigrade, so that students got really interested, and they sprinkled the water a lot. And also that we are passing over the ice, so that attracted a lot of students, that demonstrated that the reward or a carrot is very important to get the students involved. And also that Professor Sasaki became the dean. He is very famous for his initiatives in the environmental sustainability. May I continue? Or my time is up? Oh, okay, then let's share this story next year. Thank you very much.